This is the first video for the statistics part of quant preparation. And I want to start out with notation and definition. So this is the uppercase Greek symbol used in math and statistics. And it means summing. It's an operation for summation. Now number 1 could be written as this: x equal 1 to 5. This is the lower index. This is the upper index. And what you're going to do is start with the value 1, and you will substitute that in for x. And then you'll substitute in a 2, and then a 3, a 4, and then a 5. You always go up by 1 each time. So let's find the summation from 1 to 5 of 10 minus x squared. 10 minus x squared is my formula. So the first time through, we're going to let x be 1. So that will be 10 minus 1 squared. Go up by 1. 10 minus 2 squared. Go up by 1. 10 minus 3 squared. Go up by 1. 10 minus 4 squared. And finally, the upper index is 5. That's where you stop. 10 minus 5 squared. So this will be 10 minus 1, because I squared the 1, plus 10 minus 4, plus 10 minus 9, plus 10 minus 16, plus 10 minus 25. And that gives me 9 plus 6 plus 1 minus 6 minus 15, and that's negative 5. Let's look at number 2. Be careful here. The only thing that the exponent 2 is connected to is a positive x. That's a negative out front. So start with 1, and what will you end with? 4. So this is negative 1 squared plus negative 2 squared, that's right, plus negative 3 squared, be careful where you put that square, plus negative 4 squared, and that's where we stop. Now, this first term is going to be negative 1, and then plus a negative 4, minus 9, minus 16, and that's negative 30. Now, if you're confused, let's just pull one of these out. Let's take the negative 3 squared. Negative 3 squared is negative 9. That's a difference from negative 3 in parentheses squared, which is positive 9. Let's continue with some definitions. Variable. It's a characteristic or attribute that can assume different values. We've all seen variables. Population, very important. Consists of all subjects. Human or otherwise. You guys are probably happy I'm writing this definition out because you might not be able to understand my accent. That are being studied. All right, let's go to the next page. More definitions. Sample. And that's normally what we deal with is samples. That's where we'll perform our statistics, because a lot of times it's too expensive to collect data from an entire population, or it may even be impossible to collect all the data from a population. So sample is a group of subjects from a population. All right, there's two types of statistics, descriptive and inferential. So the descriptive is where you organize your data. Consists of the collection organization, summary or summarization, and presentation of data. Inferential consists of generalizing from samples to populations. Performing estimations and hypothesis test. Determining relationships among variables, and making predictions. All right, when you see the word parameter, I immediately want you to think about population. It's the characteristic or measure obtained by using all the data values from a specific, I know this is boring, but we need to get through it, population. So when you see parameter, think population. Statistic, I want you to think about sample. That's where you've gathered your data and you do calculations. Characteristics or measure. Now let's make that singular. Characteristic or measure obtained by using the data values from a sample. All right, that's it, I believe, for our definitions. Now, this is notation. It's very important. I want you to understand what the particular variable, the notation represents. If you see mu, that means the mean of a population. If you see sigma squared, that means variance for population. If you see sigma, that means standard deviation for population. If you see the capital letter N, that's the number of items in a population. Now we have the same notation, different notation for each of these for a sample. A sample, the mean is X bar. The variance is S squared. The standard deviation for a sample is S. And the number of items in a sample is lowercase n. So go ahead and learn this notation before you go on to the next video.